Hi Praxis, my name is Dagney and this is my video submission. So getting right into your first question, who am I and what is my story? Well, the basics, my name is Dagney Swan Palmer. I'm a senior at Christopher Newport University and I'm studying American Studies and Economics. I'm the oldest of 3 children and the oldest of 20 grandchildren. I grew up in northern Utah and moved to Virginia with my family when I was in 7th grade. I think that growing up out in Utah really informed a lot of my thinking and perspective on life now. In middle school and high school, I became interested in politics, economics, philosophy, as well as reading, writing, and drawing. And those are still some of my passions today. I knew I wanted to go to a small liberal arts college in Virginia, so I ended up coming to Christopher Newport University, and I've greatly enjoyed my time here. As for my story, well, it feels like that's only just starting. For most of my time here at CNU, I thought that I was going to go to law school or to graduate school for economics, but over the past year that's changed a little bit, and that mostly started when I met my boyfriend Shawn Hatfield and started working with him over the summers at his startup businesses in Leesburg, Virginia. Those are Groove Music Lessons and Recording, a recording studio, and he also teaches music lessons there, as well as a small record label called Appalachian Groove Records. At Groove, I worked as the owner's assistant, receptionist, social media manager, web designer. I worked on advertisement, booking artists, recording, as well as anything else they really needed, like taking out the trash and picking up coffee. And I loved it. So when Shawn had the idea to start a small literary magazine and publishing company, I was all in. He decided to call it the Borfski Press, and the very first thing we published was his poetry collection, Waking Up is a Disgusting Habit, that came out this summer. Now the Borfski Press magazine is a huge priority for us. I can't wait for this first issue to come out later this fall. It will include nearly 200 pages of artwork and writing from authors and artists all over the world. But I also see so much room for improvement and so many different directions we could take this magazine, as well as so many things I plan on doing differently and improving with the next issue in the spring. This magazine has become one of my biggest projects and something I've put so much time and effort into outside of school, and I would really love to see what it becomes in the future. On to the second question, which is, what is the hardest thing I've ever worked on? So the first thing that comes to mind, my professors will kill me if they hear this, the research internship that I had this past summer. It was a paid research internship at Christopher Newport University where I worked with a professor to research and write a professional article. The topic was the philosopher Benedict Spinoza. Now, I love writing and I love reading. I always have, so this should have been my dream job. But it didn't quite work out that way. I felt stifled by the rules and procedures of academic writing. It was one of the hardest things for me to get up every day and work on the same project within these rules the same way every day for 2.5 months by myself. It was a valuable experience and I'm very proud of the paper I wrote, but it did make me hesitate to dedicate my life to academia. Third question is, what value would I bring to a business? I'll outline some of my specific skills and experience. The first I would have to say is customer service. Working in food service, in retail, and at Christopher Newport University as an event coordinator and intern with the Center for American Studies, I've learned how to interact with customers, clients, and donors, and handle all of that in a professional setting. I also know I can work quickly and work on a deadline. I think my grades show that. I'm a straight-A student, as well as beginning to work in the publishing world and the writing world. Deadlines and quick work and not wasting time are crucial. I also pride myself on my writing, editing, and communication skills, so I think I could definitely bring that value to any business I'd work at in any field. And finally, I think I also have some general internet and technology skills beyond the basic human capabilities, including managing professional social media pages and websites through services like WordPress, Squarespace, Weebly, and others. I also have a little bit of experience in advertisement and graphic design. Not a ton, but something I would really like to work on and improve my skills in. Some other general things I think I would bring to a business would be a positive attitude, honesty, and responsibility, as well as flexibility and a willingness and eagerness to challenge myself. Fourth question is, who is my favorite thinker or philosopher? First of all, coming in at a close second would have to be Ayn Rand. Her writing greatly has influenced me over my life. But overall, I'd have to say my favorite thinker would be Friedrich A. Hayek for his genius insight into how people interact to form a coherent and cooperative society, how people can collaborate to create the beautiful, amazing world that we live in now. And finally, what would I do with $1 million? Well, a good portion of that would have to be invested into the Borfski Press to make it everything that we want it to be. Another portion would be saved so that I could buy a house or pay rent over the next few years, and with whatever is left, I would send my parents on a trip to Europe. So thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself to you, and I look forward to the next stage in the process.